All right, next up on the show we have Soapbox, and Alex, we got to talk about something that I know you were hoping we didn't have to bring up again, but
I was hoping we wouldn't bring this topic up again for like the 16th time.
well, it's going to come up at least this time because it's a topic that requires us to discuss that at least to start with, um, because every time a Souls-like game comes around, and we are currently experiencing one right now with Elden Ring, there is a topic of conversation that comes up. You probably know what that conversation is.
I do.
Yeah.
But for those of you listening who aren't sure which topic we're talking about, Nathan.
Yeah. Okay. So, the question that seems to come up is, should Dark Souls have an easy mode? And the inevitable reply that you see back is, Get Good. That's the whole thing. Is the Git Good mentality.
This is actually a topic that gets brought up a lot, and Dark Souls is a prime example of it. Over the years, there have been lots of conversations about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I think Yahtzee just did a thing about this again, also.
Yeah,
I'm bringing up Zero Punctuation a lot.
Yeah,
Punctuation a lot lately because we're on the same page with a bunch of things.
Oh, sure. And some of the other ones that I listen to, like Jim Sterling and Skill Up, have a tendency to talk about these things too. And listening to all of those opinions, I had some thoughts on it. And I think I've kind of come to my own personal conclusion. And feel free to tell me if I'm completely wrong. But
you're completely wrong.
Perfect.
I don't need to know your opinion to tell you that.
So here's the thing. I don't actually think that Souls-likes need to have an easy mode. If the game developers decided that they wanted to make a game like this and they wanted to make it challenging, they wanted to make it hard, I say let them do what they wanted to do. Accessibility, that's another issue. If you can do that so that for colorblindness, anything like that, please do that. It's just helpful for the gamer that's out there. But if you've created a challenge or like essentially the rhythm game like Dark Souls, and that's the way you intended it to be played, I don't think you have to have an easy mode. And if you are playing it and it's not working for you, there's plenty of other things to play. They make other Souls-likes that are easier or do have, like, Jedi Fallen Order is that kind of game. It's a Souls-like, and it does have story mode, and believe me, I was in it. I played in that mode, because
You mentioned that the story mode felt too easy.
Yeah, well, the thing that's interesting about Fallen Order is that if you're playing it in the normal mode, it definitely feels like a Souls-like game, but where you're a Jedi. When you play it in story mode, it feels a lot like the Jedi...
Fancy.
Well, no, like Jedi Academy or Jedi Knight, like those things where you feel like a badass, lightsaber wielder going around and smacking things, but that's really fun for me. Like that was a really fun experience, being able to go up to Stormtroopers and just slicing through them left and right like this.
Yeah, I mean, power fantasy can be fun if done right.
And if you're a Jedi, I certainly hope that I'm getting that power fantasy. So
Yeah.
It worked for me. When it was in the Souls-like kind of mode, I was like, why am I a Jedi? I don't seem to be doing very much to stop these little teeny freaking soldiers. Or this toad. But, I've played some with varying difficulties and difficulty sliders. I don't think that Dark Souls itself, if it doesn't want to have different kinds of difficulty modes, it's not behooven to do that.
Yeah, if the game is designed to be challenging and tough and for a specific group of people who like that,
sure.
I don't think making an easy mode or a story mode is necessary. Again, it's like if you're playing a puzzle game.
Yeah.
And there's normal mode, there's hard mode to make the puzzles even harder and more obscure, and then there's an easy mode that just holds your hands and tells you how to complete the puzzles, you know?
Right.
And I think an example of like that would I believe, what was it, Undertale that did that, where at one point the mother character or whatever, I didn't play Undertale, I'm sorry. There's a room full of traps, and
Yeah.
she just walks you through it, like
Yeah.
deactivating all the traps for you. But that's a deconstruction of that.
Right.
So
it is. Yeah.
So like, okay, do you want a game that's gonna do it for you?
Right.
Because that is also generally not fun.
Right. I think that it's fine to have a challenge. If you do find that it's the kind of challenge that you're just not engaged with, maybe it's just not a game that you want to do. Like Souls-likes are not going to be something everybody has to play. Trust me, I'm not in that camp. I don't actually, sometimes I'll do it just to try them and see if I like the formula, but by no means have I liked every single one of them, and mostly for that reason, that I think that they get into parts where it's a little feels cheap and unfair, or that I could get good at this game, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to bother.
I could get good at this game, but I don't want to invest that much time to get good.
It's not interesting enough for me to take the time to do that.
And that's one of those things too. And Dark Souls-like From Software games specifically, the story is really neat. In Dark Souls. I don't know about Elden Ring specifically, but like, you have to search for it.
Yeah.
So the story is not necessarily engaging unless you're engaged with finding it. So it's you're playing for the gameplay a lot of times, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, like, hot take inside of a hot take here is that besides the gameplay of Dark Souls, I'm gonna say it, I was not thrilled with the world building. I know that's gonna be a controversial take, but I always felt like the Souls franchise kind of kept me at arm's length from the world itself.
Yeah, see, there are people who go into deep dives about the world building of Dark Souls, for instance. And if you watch those videos and the breakdowns, it's really interesting. Like, the entire story of Dark Souls is really interesting. But, like,
you gotta work
the gameplay to get that yourself without somebody else just doing a whole hour-long video about it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to ask.
Yeah. Like, I understand that, like, the story and the richness of that story is there, but it really doesn't engage itself, for me at least. It wasn't engaging itself for me to learn about it. I didn't have the desire to learn about it because, again, it felt like it was keeping me at arm's length, where I'm just kind of in this world and I have to seek out the story. It's not really presenting itself to me as I go along in that narrative.
It's kind of a weird dissonance between the gameplay and the story.
Yeah, a little bit in that regard, because I think ones that I have tried that are Souls-likes will present its story more directly throughout the course of the game. Like, it will present itself in a more straightforward fashion. Maybe that's part of it. But that all being said, on the topic of getting good, my general mindset is this: you can get good. I don't have to care. Because the thing about it is that I understand that there's people that really love to talk about how they were able to overcome these challenges, and that's great. It's not gonna get you at the cool kids table. I really wish it used to work like that. I wish I was able to go up and say, "Hey guys, I beat Ninja Gaiden," and have people kind of go, "Oh, wow, you beat Ninja Gaiden? How'd you do that, Nathan?" And it's like, I had too much free time on my hands.
I mean, in some circles, that'll get you further than others, but probably just with the diehards.
Yeah, the average person on the street is probably not going to care, and it's especially, I don't think there's anyone who's really going to appreciate it as like an opener, like an icebreaker to a conversation, like just going up to somebody and kind of going, "Yeah, I did 360 no-scope and Halo and Legendary."
It's the
great.
The scene
Terrific
from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, where he's at the party trying to talk to Ramona for the first time. He's like, screws it up. It's like, "You know why he's called Pac-Man? It's called Paku Paku." And it's like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, you kind of have to know your audience for that, but, like, on the same token that I can say, like, the game can be hard if it wants to be hard, and that was the intention of the game designers, I similarly share some viewpoints with some of the people that I've been hearing, where it doesn't have to be that you either get good or you're a loser, dude. No.
You get good or you get going.
Or you get going, yeah, exactly. Getting good is great for the people that want to get good, and it's a nice personal challenge to overcome. But that doesn't mean that you're going to end up on an esports team, guys. I'm sorry, that doesn't mean that it's going to be your profession. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be, like, people don't necessarily want to hear about it. You know, I don't necessarily want to talk about with somebody like how you were able to totally like own every single boss in Elden Ring, and it was so epic. It's like, yeah, that's nice, but right now we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. so maybe
there's a time and a place.
Yeah. And I think,
and to be fair,
yeah,
I know in our memorable moments section of our Discord, we've had a couple of people talking about Elden Ring or sharing stuff with Elden Ring, and some of those things are really cool. Like, seeing some of that stuff done is like, wow, yeah, that was really neat. Good job. Like, nice. That's awesome. But, yeah. Like, it's not for everywhere. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, talk about it all the time.
Right.
Because it's like the entire thing, but it's like,
right.
No, some of it is, it's like, wow, that's actually really cool.
Right.
Like, apparently that's hard. Good job.
yeah. And to be frank, like, on our Discord where we have those forums, that really gives the appropriate format. Like, that's the place for stuff like that. But if we're gonna use, and this is really the point I wanted to make with the Soapbox, is if you're gonna use the Git Good to try and make it feel like other people aren't as good as you, fuck you, because I don't care. I no longer care. Yeah.
Get going.
Yeah. If all you care about is getting good, you can get going. How about that?
If all you want is clout.
Yeah, I don't care about clout chasing. I don't play games for the clout, and I know some people do.
We podcast for the clout, Nathan.
Yes, we podcast for clout. This is clout chasing right now. I'm standing up for people who can't get good. Make sure to like and subscribe.